Brian, you obviously have a lot of new faces. I mean, how does that, I guess, turnover, just some of those guys who kind of help with some of the issues maybe last year, just having new faces and kind of getting them incorporated with the team?
I think we're going to always have new faces, but these guys like each other and they've come together. Our communication has been is pretty good. I mean, if you're on the sideline, you can hear them. So I like the team.
A lot of guys have talked about the leadership and how some of even the transfer guys are vocal. How much does that help?
Well, what's cool about it is, like, for me in this day and age, I got two guys that I'm going to be coaching for 3 years, so it's so much fun, like an Antonio or like a DAngelo. So they know the defense, so they're very, very vocal. And then Jojo's coming in here and kind of become a leader in that back end, and then even some of the corners like Rodney. But we've done a good job of getting them all to communicate with each other, and the backers as well. We've emphasized it, we've gotten it, it's really helped.
You mentioned DAngelo. He's a guy that seems like he's progressed every single year. Got obviously a little bit more last year. What have you seen from him following last year and going into this campaign?
I'm just happy for him because he's more comfortable now and not thinking. And I was making this point the other day because in today's era, some of these young guys think, well, I'm not, I should be starting right now or I should be playing. I'd say, hey, man, how many years have you started? None. Hey, Antonio, how many years have you started? 1. So that's guys who've been in your program, right? So I'm just happy for him that he's comfortable, he's pleased, he's making plays. I'm happy for him.
With Antonio, obviously the play last year to seal the game, but his athleticism helps. But it seems like he's kind of smart, always in the right place as well.
Pretty much. He's got a lot of reps and a lot of experience, but those guys, so what we decided to do is put a lot of volume in, a lot of defense in. The advantage is you've been doing it since January, but it's still a lot of stuff that you have to know and remember and execute and stuff. And so it really helps that he's been around for so long. But yeah, I think the guy just asked me outside from the Cardinals. I think he's a big man who can run. I think he's smart, and I think he works at it, and I think he loves football. So I'm happy for him too. I'm happy for those two guys because you guys know they haven't been the starters per se, much until last year. So I'm happy for those two guys.
How much does his athleticism just make it even better? You know what I mean?
Oh.
We saw that on that play. Not many guys could make that.
I thought when I came here, okay, this guy, we can get him knowing what to do and playing fast. He's an NFL guy because he's big and he'll probably run in a high 4.4s, low 4.5s, and he'll be probably about 223, 25 pounds. And he's a good person. So, and he's a good leader. It's just, he's a talented guy.
You mentioned Jojo and some leadership a moment ago. What has really impressed you about his performance so far in camp?
Okay, Jojo is a guy who was not used to, I think, hard coaching and being demanded to get to the football and to finish plays and really to strike people. And so, at times he could deflect. So we just been working on, hey, look, man, you want to play at the next level, this is what it takes. This is what you got to do. And mentally, he still fights it. But if you watch him at the second part of that practice, particularly that first team, he's running around. So he's bought into what I'm selling. Now he's just got to get better at it.
You've mentioned the communication aspect a couple times now. Compared to where you guys were around this time last year, how much farther along do you think the communication is?
I don't want to compare anything to last year. This is a whole different football team. The communication is good right now.
It's just overall, what do you like about this defense?
I like the fact that they are unselfish, that they like each other. I think they trust the coaches. I think they try to do what we ask them to do. I think they put a lot of time and effort into football, a lot of it, because, again, we've thrown a lot at them. So I just like them as people, and I think in life, in any field, when you have a group of people in an organization that care about each other and are unselfish, you got a chance because they're playing together as a unit, and that's always stronger than playing as one.
Coach, when you look at the secondary, you like to move some guys in and out.
Yes,
but
I
if
do.
you've got guys that are going to play, I know, like Antonio played almost the entire snap, every snap when Ben got hurt in that Clemson game. But how many do you want to rotate? How do you feel right now about being the depth, I guess?
I feel like we need to keep coming before I'm really comfortable with a deep rotation, particularly at safety and star. But you have to have that to win the championship, man. You can't. That's what Bama was doing. Bama was so deep that not only could they survive injuries, but they could keep guys fresh. So that's why I'm adamant about, look, we got to rotate guys in and out. I think that corner position is deep, though. I think it's deep.
DAngelo is a guy that, like you mentioned, that, I mean, he's been around here and he's just kind of bided his time. How different is that nowadays?
Well, it doesn't happen, but he came to me, I think it was at last January, maybe, or maybe it was the one before, but he wanted to transfer. Hey, coach, I'm going to transfer. And I said, look, man, it is your time. It probably was this January. I said, no, man, it's your time. You don't want to transfer now. I had to get on with his mom and all that stuff. And you're talking about a really good person. Like, I've never heard him blame anybody for anything. I've never heard him make excuses. I mean, that is a well-raised kid. So it is gratifying to have guys who stay in a program the whole time and then they're rewarded at the end to be starters and players and leaders. So it's just, as you can see, I smile every time I talk about those two guys because I'm just feel blessed and fortunate to have coached them for so long.
A couple of times, Coach, you've mentioned them being good humans. How much easier does that make your job as the coach when they are good people themselves, aside from being athletic?
Well, I said this to the group this morning, yesterday, because, younger guys don't always get it and understand. And I said this, listen, let me tell you so you understand. If you're a guy who's always making excuses or it's never your fault, it is hard for me to get you better. It's very difficult for me to get you better because you never look at yourself. It's always somebody else's fault. But when they're good people and they know where you're coming from, which means that you have their best interest, it's awesome.
I guess in this area, do you feel like there are more conversations about transferring as opposed to maybe 5-10 years ago? And how do you, I guess, kind of handle that in terms of trying to retain players but also get players in here as well?
I think our philosophy is we want guys that want to be here. Of course, we'd like to keep all of our players. That doesn't always happen. But we just want guys who want to be here. And, when there's a guy who transferred out, and I was like, you know what, you're right, you probably should. It was just not a fit. And we were trying to put him in, put a square peg in a round hole kind of a deal. But if I think it's the best for him, then I really try to persuade him to stay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.